Been watching for some time now through the spring for a weather pattern flip, and I thought it might happen sometime in May or June. Not confident this is the one, but there is definitely a switch in the upper level patterns taking shape, and that's going to lead to some definitely warmer weather across much of the central United States. Storms still going to be fairly spotty in this pattern, and if this is in fact the pattern shift that manifests itself and stays this way for much of the summer, then it could be foreboding signals for that concern that we've had all along, that our generally dry fall and winter and early spring pattern could lead to a hot and dry summer. Here's what we're watching. The jet stream this week kind of split into two parts, a little bit of a loop down around a weak meandering low in the southwest. It's beginning, the main polar branch of the jet stream is this one. This is a much smaller, less significant, weaker flow, but it does contain this upper level low. Now, as the jet stream itself merges north up into Canada, it's taking with it a lot of really warm air. And by the middle of this week, I expect temperatures out in eastern Montana and the far western Dakotas to maybe get up around 90 degrees or into the 90s, and this whole region is going to be in the 70s and 80s. So some really warm weather taking shape. Now, will this trough kick out a storm in this southwest flow pattern toward the end of the week? I remain skeptical of that, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail when we look at the precipitation forecast. But much warmer weather. A lot of this will be in the 80s as far north as North Dakota and central Minnesota for the week ahead. Now, as we shift into the second week, I still am seeing this ridge of high pressure. I still see another chance of a system coming up with this jet stream, but probably not a terribly well organized weather system. In other words, I look for this region to be not only mostly pretty warm, but also mostly pretty dry. And it'll likely stay that way. Going to see some persistent temperatures getting up around 90 into the southeast part of the country during the second week of this forecast. The cold air is really retreating northward into Canada. Now, as far as precipitation goes, with that flow coming out of the southwest, especially around the middle of the week, this whole northern plains area, there will be a chance for scattered thunderstorms. But I look for the only really good chance of getting appreciable rain to be on the eastern side of this. And the way the spring is gone, I'm not confident it's going to be a full soaker for all of these areas. But there will be some rains into the upper Midwest. The second week, the same area has a chance, but some of this, with the temperatures as warm as they are, will be too dry in the western part of the Corn Belt and across the northern plains. It does look like it will continue to be very much too dry, and couple that with the warm temperatures, and we have a problem.